ED CBI chief's tenure is being extended. That's something that the centre is batting for, to which the Congress and the TMC have now questioned the same move. They've questioned the move in the top court, and the Modi government has responded to the notice, says bid to scuttle investigation, and full affidavit has been accessed by Times now. But this is the latest bit of breaking news update coming in, viewers, and this is with regards to how both the Congress and TMC have questioned the move of ED and CBI chief's tenure extension in the top court, to which the Modi government has also responded. But first up, let me go across to Harish, and then Shruti can perhaps join us with the details on the affidavit that Times Now has accessed. Harish, take us through all the details. Not really surprising, the fact that the Congress and the TMC have opposed the move, but interesting that they've now decided to take it to the top court.
Yes, that's right. A very interesting development, and as you rightly said, seeking dismissal of petitions filed by Randeep Singh Surjewala and Congress leader Jaya Thakur and TMC leaders Mahua Moitra and Saket Gokhale, challenging the rule that allowed extension of tenure of ED and CBI director up to 5 years. Centre has told Supreme Court that eminent leaders of these parties are under investigation of ED, and petitions are being filed to ensure that ED does not and cannot discharge its duty fearlessly. The affidavit filed by Sandeep Gehlot, Under Secretary, Department of Revenue, also says petitioner failed to disclose serious case of money laundering under investigation against several leaders of the party, and very significantly referring to petitions filed by Randeep Singh Surjewala and Jaya Thakur, who happens to be General Secretary of Madhya Pradesh Congress Congress Committee. The affidavit says it is nothing but an attempt to scuttle legitimate statutory probe being carried out by ED against politically exposed persons. Real motive is to question investigation being carried out against President and certain office bearers of Indian National Congress. Though the affidavit does not name Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi, this is a clear reference to them, as the affidavit says President and certain office bearers of Indian National Congress. So referring to Jaya Thakur, the affidavit said she is General Secretary of Madhya Pradesh Mahila Congress Committee. Instead of those facing corruption charges approaching courts to quash criminal proceedings, they have taken a PIL route. This is clearly being filed in a representative capacity for and on behalf of the Congress President.
Okay. So remember, Harish, it was the Congress and the TMC, one of the two political parties, who have now gone ahead and challenged the very move that allows extension of tenure of ED and CBI up to 5 years, to which now the centre has responded. Let me go across to Shruti quickly. Shruti, the centre told the top court that eminent leaders of these parties are under investigation of ED, and petitions have been filed to ensure that ED does not and cannot discharge its duties fearlessly. Take us through the contents, please.
Yes, Kritsween, Times Now has been able to access the entire affidavit, and let me take you through the details. The affidavit has been signed by Sandeep Gehlot, who is posted as Under Secretary, Department of Revenue. Now, as far as the details are concerned of what the centre has actually written in the affidavit, it is submitted that the present writ petition, styled as a public interest litigation, is clearly motivated and is admittedly intended to scuttle the legitimate statutory investigation being carried out by the Directorate of Enforcement against certain politically exposed persons. It also says the real motive of the petition is to question the investigation being carried out against the President and certain office bearers of the Indian National Congress Party. Now, moving ahead, it also suggests that the present petition is a misuse of Article 32 of the Constitution, which is clearly being filed in a representative capacity for and on behalf of the President and the office bearers of the Indian National Congress, who are being investigated by ED. So there is clear mention that there are people from the Congress Party who are being investigated by the ED and who have filed this petition. and are fully competent to approach respective courts for appropriate statutory relief.
Thank you for that, Shruti. Let me quickly go back to Harish, who can perhaps put this in perspective for us. Given the kind of investigations, Harish, some of these leaders are facing now very, very scathing comments via this affidavit that have been made, in which you can see the centre clearly say that instead of those facing corruption charges approaching courts to quash criminal proceedings, they have taken a PIL route, and this is clearly being filed in a representative capacity for and on behalf of the Congress President and office bearers. So really going ahead with a pinpointed argument here. Harish.
Yes, that's right. Remember, this affidavit very clearly says that the Supreme Court has time and again held remedy of PIL should not be used for political or personal interest and should not become a tool at the hands of vested interests for the political or personal gain. And remember, as you very rightly put, remember Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi are facing the heat of a National Herald scam. They are being probed by ED. Also, even yesterday, the TMC leader Abhishek Banerjee's matter came up before the Supreme Court. It's a different matter that he has got relief, saying that Supreme Court has protected him and allowed him to even go abroad. But look at the timing of this petitions they have filed questioning the tenure extension of the ED director. So this is what the center, the affidavit filed by the Revenue Department very, very clearly says, because at a time when the leaders, their leaders like Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi and Abhishek Banerjee and several TMC leaders are facing corruption charges, Congress leaders, forget Jay Thakur. So Ranjit Singh Surjewala is a very senior leader. He is one of the petitioners. And coming to TMC, Saket Gokhale and Mahua Moitra are very tall leaders of TMC. They have also filed this affidavit, a petition challenging the tenure extension of ED. So even and the ED has very Revenue Department of Revenue has very clearly justified the tenure extension on merit. Let me read out that portion from the affidavit. It says that while ED has sole jurisdiction to investigate into money laundering, CBI probes corruption with crisscross entrenchment of persons and groups involved in money laundering and anti-corruption activities. Unraveling the crime and corruption nexus through ED and CBI becomes not only complex but also has international ramifications. Thus, investigation of such crimes requires the two investigating agencies to have robust processes and senior personnel in position for sufficiently long tenures. Concept of continuous mandamus has been exercised on many occasions by this court pertaining to several anti-corruption by continuing the same investigation teams. So, keeping the above in view, it was strongly felt that the assured long tenures of the heads of ED and CBI on similar lines would be highly desirable and in larger public interest. Therefore, with a view to ensuring stability and continuity, the tenure officers heading the two important most investigating agencies of the government and supervising sensitive cases involving public interest, it was considered essential to provide clear and enabling stipulations in the two statutes governing appointments of heads of ED and CBI. So, not only they have attacked the ED Revenue Department of Revenue, the central government has attacked the TMC and Congress for leaders for filing petitions.